One Piece episode 871 was titled, Finally It's Over. The climax of the intense fight against Katakuri. Yeah, this was the last episode of the fight between Luffy and Katakuri. It is finally over because I think the fight has been like about 5 or 6 episodes around the area. It's been a pretty long fight, between Luffy and Katakuri. So, while that fight was happening and stuff, they was clashing with each other's fists. Luffy was in Gear 4th, Snake Man, and he was clashing with Katakuri's Armnet Haki with his Mochi Mochi no Mi clashing fist into each other pretty much. But then we go to a scene cut to Sanji and Pudding, and before we actually get to that scene, I forgot to mention one thing. Brule, that girl from the Big Mom Pirates, that looks like a witch and stuff, that actually looks like a witch, was tied up, and she was supposed to be Luffy's escape route pretty much after the fight with Katakuri, and she done escape. So yeah, she untied herself and done escape during the fight between Katakuri and Luffy. That's something to mention right there. So, like I said about that scene with Sanji and Pudding, it was pretty cool. They got to Cacao Island, and they was pretty much in hiding and stuff because Oven's troops pretty much was waiting for the Straw Hats to come up and stuff, and so we see Sanji and Pudding like in this alleyway, they're wearing like cloaks and stuff, which is pretty cool. They're wearing that, and then they started talking and stuff. And Sanji was like, well, I'm very grateful, even though you're pretty much like evil stuff, I'm grateful that you try to play as a fiance to me and stuff like that. It was pretty cool what Sanji was saying and stuff. And then Pudding, she's like, oh my god, and then, like, freaking goes evil again. Oh, like, shut up and all that stuff. And then, Sanji starts laughing and stuff and talking about, yeah, I'm pretty grateful for you and all that. And then Pudding was like, oh, that's all so sweet and stuff. And, he had a cigarette in his mouth, of course, because it's like in every scene. And then pretty much you see Pudding crying and stuff, and all of a sudden Pudding grabs the cigarette out of his mouth, throws it on the ground, and you could tell what happened because they kissed and stuff. But it didn't even show him kissing, but you could see her leaning up and standing up on like toes and stuff, doing that stuff. You already know what happened, pretty much. Then we cut from that scene with the Straw Hats and stuff, with Nami and all them, Nami and Brooke and all them. And it was a pretty funny scene. You got the Big Mom Pirates chasing them, and then you get this one funny scene with Brooke, Jinbei's like, trying to steer, going to Cacao Island with the Big Mom Pirates behind him, chasing after him. And then it was this funny scene. Brooke was like, I need to negotiate with them. And then he goes like, hey ladies, show me your panties. And then of course Nami hits him upside the head. So yeah, it was pretty funny. I like that scene with Brooke. It was pretty good. But yeah, pretty much during the whole entire episode, because Nami told Luffy, hey, we gotta go and meet up at Cacao Island at 1 o'clock. And time's going by, it was like 12:15, I think, at one point, and 12:30, 12:45. So yeah, Luffy does not got enough time to play around pretty much. But we go to a scene with Beijay and them, and Beijay and his crew's leaving out. They got Big Mom right behind them, literally with her soul and stuff, chase after him with the flames and stuff. So yeah, that was a pretty cool scene. Big Mom and them was chased after Beijay and his crew. But then we go back to the scene with Katakuri and Luffy, and like I said, it was clashing still, but it was like the fist to fist thing pretty much. Like I said, Luffy was in Gear 4th. It was a scene that we seen earlier, like the first thing we seen into the episode. So yeah, they're still like holding each other pretty much with the fist, which was pretty cool. And then you see how both of them finally let go and stuff, and yeah, Luffy goes back into his normal base form pretty much, falls down this, down this hole, like this crater, he falls down in, and Katakuri was standing up tall, and then he falls back, and then you see Luffy finally wake up and stuff. He stretches his arm out, getting back onto, the ground pretty much. Well, he was still on the ground, but like the level playing field, finally got out the crater. So yeah, Luffy was on the ground and he said, "Yes, I finally won." And then was Katakuri standing over top of him, and Katakuri. It was this cool line that you hear Katakuri says. He goes like, "You can see quite far in your future," and then pretty much he passes out and falls and collapses, and yeah, and the fight was officially over. So yeah, epic fight between Luffy and Katakuri. I like the fight between them. Probably the best, I'll say top 3 best fights in One Piece. With Snake Man getting revealed in the last episode, which was amazing. Episode 870, if you have yet, go check out, because that episode was amazing. I did my review on that episode last week, so yeah, if you have yet, go check out my review for One Piece episode 870, which I did last week. So yeah, go check that out. But yeah, like I said, Snake Man getting, Snake Man Gear 4th getting showed up was pretty amazing. The whole fight between Katakuri and Luffy was great. So yeah, like I said, top 3 best One Piece fights, so far. So yeah, I think it probably is my favorite. I'm not even gonna lie. But yeah, like I said, easily in the top 3. But yeah, like I said, Katakuri passed out and all that. He's knocked on the ground. Luffy finally gets back up to his feet, and the black hat that he was wearing, he takes it off. He takes out the straw hat out of that black hat, puts on the straw hat, and then lays that black hat over Katakuri's face, over his mouth and stuff, and then walks away. And when he was walking away, he noticed that Brule was missing. So yeah, he had to go. He was, he was worried because Brule was missing. Like I said, Brule pretty much escaped during the clash with Katakuri and Luffy. So yeah, she done left out, and that was pretty much his only chance to go and stuff. And he was like, "Oh man, I can't go nowhere now." And then we see, and then you hear Brule's voice like, "Big bro, Katakuri is defeated," whining stuff. So yeah, and then all of a sudden, she's tied right back up again, and that guy named Storm's Mistress or something like that. I forget his name. Pretty much had her, on his shoulders and stuff. They call him the Mystery Savior, in the episode. So yeah, him. He had Brule, on his shoulders and stuff tied up, and then so Luffy can escape and stuff. And then, and then at the end of the episode, we get Nami pretty much talking to Sanji over, over the snow, transponder snow, and asking Sanji, "Hey, is Luffy there yet?" And Sanji says, "No, Luffy ain't here yet." And that's the end of the episode. And like I said, Luffy's finding getting going to Gokao Island, and same for the rest of the Straw Hats and Jinbei and all that. So yeah, pretty good episode. I liked it. Next week's episode will be pretty cool because in the episode preview for episode 872, they showed a pretty cool scene where you see, of course, them transforming and stuff after they see the moon. I think is, I keep on forgetting his name, but they call him the Mystery Savior. Him, the guy that looks like kind of like a lion but wearing sunglasses and stuff. Yeah, he's gonna be transforming, I think, in the next week's episode. After he sees the moon and stuff. So yeah, next week's episode is gonna be pretty good, I think. But yeah, this week's episode was pretty good. The clash between Katakuri and Luffy is finally over. Like I said, top 3 best fights in One Piece. It is in the top 3 of mine for damn sure. But yeah, like I said, Katakuri versus Luffy was amazing. This episode, was way more chill than last week's episode, of course, because, last week's episode you get to reveal Gear 4th Snake Man, for the first every time in the anime and stuff like that. Last week's episode was phenomenal. Like I said, if you have yet, go check out my review for episode 870 of One Piece, from last week. Go check out right now, it is up on my channel. But yeah, this week's episode was not bad. I liked it. It was pretty good. I'll give it a 8 out of 10 stars. That's why I'll give it pretty decent rating for this week's episode. After the clash with Katakuri and stuff. So yeah, pretty good. Like Big Mom and them still chasing after Beijing and his crew and all that. And Nami and the Straw House and the rest of them is getting chased by, Big Mom's crew as well. And Luffy's still trying to find out a way how to get to Cacao Island, which he finally found, Brule and stuff, so he is going to Cacao Island. And, Sanji and Pudding's already there and stuff. Oh yeah, Oven is waiting on, the Straw Hats. They got their weapons ready, so yeah. Until they see, the Straw Hats, ship and stuff, they're going to try to shoot. So yeah, Oven and them is like ready for the Straw Hats to get there. So yeah, like I said, pretty good episode. I liked it. But yeah, that's all I got to say about it. 8 out of 10 stars is what I'll give this episode. Subscribe to Team W Wrestling on YouTube. Subscribe to this channel, World of Chris 1-800. Subscribe to my other channel, Chris Videos. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook. Yeah, I'll be down there in the description box. So yeah, go follow my social media accounts. Like this video and comment on this video about what you guys think about this week's episode of One Piece. In my opinion, it was a pretty good episode. I liked it. Last week's episode was amazing and stuff. But yeah, this week's was pretty good. Definitely can't wait for next week's with the transformation stuff. That looks like it's gonna be a pretty good one. But yeah, definitely can't wait for it. The art and animation was pretty good. It was pretty decent, and the writing and everything else was pretty good as well. So yeah, like I said, I'll see you guys later until next week's episode. And hopefully soon I will start reviewing the One Piece manga soon on the channel. So yeah, look out for that as well. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next video.